Welcome to the top 10 scariest Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. I'm Josh Minyard, thank you for joining me. For this video, I'm going to be ranking the original 5 seasons, not the 1999 revival and not the 2019 reboot. Also, we're specifically going to focus on the aspect of horror, so while The Tale of Apartment 214, The Tale of the Dream Girl, and The Tale of the Shiny Red Bicycle are some of the best of the series, they won't find a spot on this list because those episodes aren't scary. And for an added bit of fun, I'm also going to be mentioning each episode's scariest moment. Number 10, The Tale of the Twisted Claw. Also known as the pilot episode, Twisted Claw aired on Halloween of 1990 before the show was picked up by Nickelodeon. The night before Halloween, Kevin and Dougie engage in some mischief by harassing the town's crazy lady. On Halloween and costumed, they return to her residence believing she won't recognize them. Oh, the stupidity of children. She plays along and gives them not candy, but a twisted vulture claw that she says grants 3 wishes. Assuming she's a total nutbag, the boys carry on with their night, but soon realize this creepy claw is no joke, turning their nonchalant throwaway wishes into a disturbing reality. A cautionary tale and riff of the classic horror short story The Monkey's Paw, The Twisted Claw was an outstanding first season episode and the only Are You Afraid of the Dark to take place on Halloween. The episode's scariest moment goes to the bit where Doug's dead grandfather approaches the house in creepy POV fashion. Number 9, The Tale of the Dark Music. Along with their mom, Andy and his sister Christina move into a new neighborhood after inheriting the house of their recently deceased uncle. Times are tough for Andy, as he has to deal with his bratty sister, the warm welcome of the neighborhood bully, and the freaky door that comes to life in his basement. Of course, his mom and sister don't believe him, but soon Andy gathers a better understanding of this strange phenomenon when he discovers this door is triggered by music. I'm sensing this portal to the unknown and that skinny rocker bully may have to cross paths somehow. Well, so is Andy, and revenge is exactly what this episode is about. That dark theme, coupled with some frightening images, makes this Are You Afraid of the Dark episode one you won't forget. The scariest moment was a close call, as the ending is quite disturbing, but there's no way I can shake this visual out of my mind.
Hi, Andy. Won't you come play with me?
Number 8, The Tale of the Crimson Clown. Surprisingly, this series only has 2 clown episodes, and spoiler, both will be making an appearance on this list. Sam Carter is a repulsive weasel of a human being. Joining his good-hearted brother Mike, they set out in search of the perfect gift for their mom's birthday. Well, at least Mike does. Because Sam's got his sights set on something else, himself, as he steals his brother's hard-earned money and uses it to buy a video game. What a turd. But little does Sam know, something has its sights on him. An eerie clown doll catches sight of his wrongdoings, and it isn't long before this creeper begins spooking Sam, essentially stalking him in his own home. Like a lot of these episodes, there are strong psychological elements at play as the clown further toys with Sam's paranoia, inciting some of the episode's scariest moments. Ultimately, a tale about a kid forced into a much-needed attitude adjustment, The Tale of the Crimson Clown is an essential Are You Afraid of the Dark with solid scares, a simple story, and well-contrasted characters. The scariest moment goes to the Crimson Clown's stretch arm pull.
You're next.
Number 7, The Tale of the Ghastly Grinner. Ethan Wood is an aspiring young comic book artist struggling to find representation. After getting rejected by numerous publishers, he's lured into a new comic book store's grand opening and given the one and only issue of the Ghastly Grinner. Absorbed in its pages, Ethan becomes a virtual no-show at school, prompting his teacher to swipe the coveted comic and drop it in a fish tank as punishment. Once home, Ethan gets the brilliant idea of microwaving the issue in an effort to salvage it. Well, those microwaves bring this yellow and blue villain to life, and naturally, chaos ensues, because everyone the Ghastly Grinner encounters is transformed into a laughing, goo-drooling idiot. A colorful and visually appealing episode, The Tale of the Ghastly Grinner is also bolstered by a unique and fast-paced storyline. But ultimately, it's the Grinner himself who wins the day, as this wicked, jester-like antagonist makes for one of Are You Afraid of the Dark's most memorable villains. Additionally, this is the only episode of this series that's actually a comedy in disguise. But don't let that fool you. There are some genuinely scary moments. Watching your parents turn into what is essentially brain-dead, laughing zombies is a terrifying sight. But this episode's scariest moment goes to the bus driver. Number 6, The Tale of the Midnight Madness. Pete loves his job and he loves cinema. I guess he'd have to, working at the Rialto, a retro movie theater that hardly gets business anymore. He and his coworker Katie know full well it's only a matter of time before the owners decide to shut the place down for good. But here to inject new life into this dying cinema is Dr. Vink. He's got a special film to show, a black and white silent vampire flick, which he personally guarantees audiences will come flocking to see. And when you know it, this early film era horror does exactly that. Pete and Katie rejoice as butts are back in seats and the Rialto has effectively been saved saved. But of course there's a cost, because when the lights are dim and Pete's eyes grow weary, this Orlockian bloodsucker breaks through the silver screen, literally, in what has become one of Are You Afraid of the Dark's signature moments. Trapped inside the theater, it's up to Pete and Katie to defeat this Snow White monster before they become vampire victims to his blood-sucking desires. The retro movie theater provides the perfect setting, especially combined with the iconic Nosferatu lurking its corridors. This is a masterful children's horror tale, a story of friendship, sacrifice, and fighting for what you believe in. It also serves as a reminder that though we can defeat our monsters, they always have the ability to return. If you haven't been introduced to this excellent 90s Canadian kids horror show, The Tale of the Midnight Madness is as good a place as any to start. I wanted to rate this episode higher, and while it's one of the series' most fun entries, it doesn't hit on the scare factor quite as hard as the remaining 5. I never felt the characters were truly in danger, and I definitely can't say that for what's next on this list. But before we get there, the scariest moment goes to Orlok's first appearance. Number 5, The Tale of the 13th Floor. Billy and his adopted sister Karen love to play up on the vacant 13th floor of their apartment building. One day while playing, a strange light flashes through the window, and on their way back down, they discover the elevator operator has been replaced by this guy. A couple days later, Karen receives a letter informing her the 13th floor has been renovated by a toy company, and they offer her, not Billy, a personal invite to their showcase. Too tired of siblings to let that fly, Billy tags along. Upon arrival, the children are mesmerized by the freaky factory, but soon Karen learns it's not toys she's there to test. It's she who's being tested, as this toy company is a front for an alien operation, here to test and bring her back to their home planet. As a kid, The Tale of the 13th Floor gave me the willies more than any other Are You Afraid of the Dark. Every aspect of this episode creates a strong sense of unease, from the set design, the costumes, the nightly alien visits through the TV, all the way to how the children become separated. One of the most disturbing alien designs ever put on screen, this takes the creepiness of the blank face from classic films and creates an altogether more unsettling feeling, one devoid of absolutely all emotion. But the biggest factor to what makes this story so frightening is what lies underneath. There's no gentle way to say this. The Tale of the 13th Floor feels like an allegory on child abduction, not just in the physical act, but also in the persuasion, making one feel they're better off leaving their current life behind. And who could forget this occasion? I'm itching to award this the freakiest moment, but I've got to give it to the ending.
Can't stay any longer. We've run out of atmosphere. It will be another 10 years before we can return.
What you talking about? Is this a joke or what?
Number 4, The Tale of Old Man Corcoran. Brothers Kenny and Jack have just moved to the suburbs and have yet to make any new friends. However, they're soon welcomed by a group of neighborhood kids, the leader of which invites them to a game of hide and seek. He encourages them to meet at the end of the street at sunfall, if they're not too scared. Reluctant at first, Kenny and Jack accept the invitation on pride alone. Knowing they're already playing at night, the stakes raise when they discover that at the end of this street lies a cemetery in the woods. No turning back now. In a sort of hazing, Sissy tries to spook them by reciting the tale of Old Man Corcoran, a ghost who haunts these lonely woods at night. And if the evening's quiet enough, you can still hear his spirit playing his harmonica. The Tale of Old Man Corcoran always stood out as an episode that gets under your skin in a different way than the others. The setting, of course, has a lot to do with that. Kids playing hide and seek at a cemetery in the woods, surrounded by the legend of a ghost, is a naturally enticing and spooky scenario. This entry also shines in its execution as the atmosphere is unmatched. One of the most hair-raising moments occurs when Kenny and Jack, as seekers, think they've got tabs on a hider, only to watch the kid eerily vanish in the fog. The Tale of Old Man Corcoran is full of great scares, and they're best served when combined with moments that push the story forward or reveal pertinent information.
Go find your own grave.
Sorry, didn't see a name on it.
We'll look a little closer next time.
Even if you know where the story's headed, chills will likely still roll down your spine. Chalk up The Tale of Old Man Corcoran as an underrated Are You Afraid of the Dark classic. This episode's scariest moment goes to the ending.
All those kids are dead and buried. I dug the graves myself. What's wrong with you two? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Number 3, The Tale of Laughing in the Dark. Similar to The Crimson Clown, Laughing in the Dark tells the story of a bratty kid in need of a serious lesson. Josh goofs around with his friend Ouija and Ouija's kid sister at their town's carnival. After stumbling upon the funhouse, Josh is warned not to venture inside. Supposedly strange things happen there that has something to do with a clown named Zebo. Teasing them and refusing to back down, Josh approaches the entrance. But after bumping into the ride's creepy carny, second thoughts get the best of him. Overall, this scene amounts to what is, in my opinion, Are You Afraid of the Dark's best inciting incident. The scare factor is high, and you know exactly what the episode will be about.
Pick the right door and you go free. Pick the wrong door and there he'll be.
Though he didn't make it inside, Josh wants a second chance to prove he's not chicken. So he makes a bet that not only will he finish the funhouse, he'll steal the clown's nose as proof of his bravery. And with some bumps along the way, that's exactly what he does. But of course, Zeebo wants his nose back, and he'll do whatever it takes to get it. The tale of Laughing in the Dark is quintessential Are You Afraid of the Dark? Undeniably unsettling, it also teaches a simple lesson. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. Though effectively shot and directed, we never physically see Zeebo during his pursuit of Josh. The episode relies on camera angles, the clown's off-screen antics, and Josh's paranoia and fear to generate scares. But let's be real, if they had shown Zeebo while stalking Josh, the episode would definitely not be rated Y7. But fear not, midway through the runtime, we do catch a glimpse of him. I present to you the tale of Laughing in the Dark's scariest moment.
What do you think I am, some kind of clown?
Alright, so these last two episodes are both equally excellent and equally scary. They're both from the same season, and both have the best villains of the series. And you know what? Both are going to take the top spot. That's right, it's a tie. No, I can't do that. Alright, you know what? I do like one a little bit more than the other. But you know what? It was close. Number 2, The Tale of the Dead Man's Float. Zeke's a science geek who's got a crush on his classmate, Clarice. Knowing she's on the swim team, he proposes she meet him before school the next day to show her his recent discovery. A massive pool hidden behind the boys' lockers. Why has this facility been kept a secret and left dormant for so many years? Because when the pool opened in the 1950s, numerous people mysteriously drowned, prompting the board to shut it down for good and hide its memory in the process. The plan worked until now, because thanks to Zeke's brain and Clarice's influence, the pool is reopened after 4 decades. But little do they know, the victims of the distant past didn't just drown, they were pulled under, taken by an ominous presence lurking in the pool's depths. And now, it's come back. Are You Afraid of the Dark's most well-crafted episode delivers in every way imaginable. The characters are very real, and Zeke's dramatic past of why he doesn't like the water beautifully ties into the episode's unique setting. The pacing is excellent, flawlessly building to what we've been waiting to uncover since the tone-setting prologue set 40 years prior. The production design and cinematography marvelously complement each other. The direction, focused and passionate, and setup and payoff have been excellently executed. The acting is very believable, and turning in a very committed performance is Charlie, the lifeguard turned janitor who was held responsible for the episode's opening drowning. His finally getting over his traumatic past nicely ties into the story's powerful theme of redemption. But the true star of the Dead Man's Float is the Dead Man himself. A terrifying sight, this soggy-haired, skeletal monster will linger in your memory long after the credits have rolled. He's become synonymous with this series, and is the main reason the tale of the Dead Man's Float is Are You Afraid of the Dark's most infamous episode. His initial on-screen appearance is by far the scariest moment. Number 1, The Tale of the Manaha. By far, Are You Afraid of the Dark's scariest episode. The Tale of the Manaha tells the story of a young boy named Jonah. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay, the real number 1, let's go, drumroll please. Number 1, The Tale of the Night Shift. A water pump shipment disappears at United Hospital, and sent to find it is Felix, the clinic's janitor who signed off on its delivery. While searching the hospital's basement, he encounters a young woman calling his attention. Intrigued, he takes the bait, but quickly bites the dust as we learn this cute blonde is actually a shape-shifting vampire. Soon, this creature of the night stalks the hospital staff one by one, transforming them into the living dead and turning this once bright and lively clinic into a lifeless morgue. Noticing this strange shift, no pun intended, is Nurse Amanda and her patient Colin. Determined to discover the cause, they eventually find the vampire's lair with the help of his first victim. But before any plan can be put into action, the disguised shapeshifter approaches, effectively cornering them before revealing his true form in what is another signature Are You Afraid of the Dark moment. The Tale of the Night Shift is the most pure horror episode of this series. No time is wasted in getting to its scares, as the monster is revealed early and the tone immediately set when the characters begin to drop one by one in classic horror fashion. The monster is grotesquely horrifying, and outside of Dead Man's Float, it's a massive step up from anything the series has shown. The hospital's corridors make for a chilling setting, especially coupled with Amanda and Colin's fear of the unknown with regards to the staff's whereabouts. The boundary was clearly pushed with The Tale of the Night Shift, as the episode is surprisingly dark and sinister. There were moments where I felt like there was no way this was made for kids. They don't make them like this anymore, and likely never will. The Tale of the Night Shift's scariest moment for sure goes to the bit on the rooftop.
I shall drop you and then lick up what's left. No, the old-fashioned way is best.
If you like this video and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys, I'll see you next time.